All right, so I've been going through Charles Platt's excellent book, Make More Electronics, and this is project 19, decoding telepathy. So this experiment uses this right here, 74HC4514 decoder, essentially as an adding machine, which we can test using a multimeter. So this decoder uses 5-volt regulated voltage, and our voltage input is this 9-volt battery. So we've got this LM705 voltage regulator here, which I've got hooked up to an LED so we can see that it's working. And Charles Platt explains this really well in his book. So this decoder uses this 5-volt regulated voltage. We can check this with the multimeter. So I've got this running on this bus right here. We can just check and make sure that we've actually got 5 volts, and we do. So that's the input to this decoder. So the pinout for this decoder is actually a little complicated. It's not in numerical order. It's really hard to point out. So I tried to kind of like label some of this stuff here, but even the labels are small. But essentially, each side of this decoder requires the top is the input, and then each side requires voltage in, and then going to ground. Basically, we've got these switches up here, and if none of the switches are pressed, then the only voltage out that will be high is 0. And so that's kind of what I'm showing here. So I've got this this multimeter for measuring the voltage out at 0, and it's high. It's the only one that's high. So I can kind of go through and show you. Let's see if I can angle this. So here's 0, 0 is high, but then if I go through, none of the other ones are, unless you press one of these pins. So right now I've got it set at 2, and if I press 2, it goes high. So that's cool, right? But what's really cool, again, this is an adding machine. So this is basically, if you have these two inputs, close these two switches for 1 and 2, then the output for 3 should go high, and it does. So that's pretty cool. And I'll just show you a couple more just to get the gist of it, even though I'm sure you guys know how to add. But so here's 10, the output for a 10. So I'm gonna plug that voltage in to measure the voltage there. So again, when nothing's pressed, 10 is low, but if I press 2 and 8 simultaneously, then it goes high. And 12 on the output of this chip is not labeled because my label fell off, but it's down here. And if I press 4 and 8 simultaneously, again, I'm not pressing them right now, so voltage is low, but if I press them simultaneously, it goes high. So it's pretty cool. So there are a lot of applications for this. The coolest thing for this basic experiment, obviously, would just to throw some LEDs on these outputs so you could just see it and not have to use your multimeter. It's kind of working with limited space. But this has a lot of cool applications. Obviously, you could make a calculator, but you could do a lot of creative things with this. So again, this is Charles Platt's project 19, decoding telepathy, out of his book, Make More Electronics.